book lovers. My name is William Sterling. I'm an author, editor, screenwriter, sometimes actor, and now I am the host of this web series. As always, we're going to have a good time. I've got lots of fun guests lined up, including for today, Chris Panatier. Chris, would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
I'm Chris Panatier. I write books and I do art and yeah, that's it. Mostly horror right now as far as books and mostly book covers and album art for metal bands as far as art is concerned. And occasionally painted that for my nephew. It's a little giraffe like
Oh,
years and years ago. So occasionally kids art.
nice. We met for the first time like 2 years ago at Halloween Hangover, and you had the tablet out and you were doing some of that metal art, and that's so cool. I haven't seen you do like in-person live. That's the wrong way to phrase this. I haven't seen you do like paint on.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's
this is
cool.
like this is like oil painting. Here, I'm gonna grab another one.
Yeah, please do. Let's showcase this a little bit.
So like I used to like show in galleries and stuff and like
What?
so
Oh
that's
my God, that's beautiful.
thanks. Yeah, that was like this is like 20 probably have the date on here. 2010. So like I used to do a lot of like what you would call, like fine art gallery stuff.
Yeah.
Um but galleries are largely let me before I slander anybody, a lot of the people I was working with were tough to work with in a gallery setting. So now I just work with indie bands and indie publishers for the most part in doing their cover work, and that's where I'm happy.
Cheers. We are going to into all of this so much more as we go through this episode. But first, let's set up the premise of this game. This web series is called You've Got Red on You. The idea here is that we're going to go through and we're going to talk about some books. We're going to look at your bookshelf with you a little bit, dig into it some. I have a series of 3 questions I am going to ask you over the course of this episode. With each question, you are going to have 30 seconds on the clock. And let me get my phone out here so I've actually got that timer with me. But you are going to have 30 seconds on the clock to find a book on your bookshelf that matches that description. Some notes here. If you cannot find it on your bookshelf, it does not count. The only books that you can pull out and talk to us about are the ones that you can actually lay your hands on. So we've had other guests that like, oh, I know the perfect book for this one, and they fail in the 30-second time frame. So be conscious of that. But the fun here is it's a little bit chaotic trying to find the book on your bookshelves. But also we get to talk about some books that we don't typically get to talk about and shed some love on them. So
Okay.
hopefully that is the main pressure point here. So are you ready to play? You've got red on you.
Ready as I'm ever gonna be. Let's do it.
Okay, we are going to start with our standard first question. Can you find me a book on your bookshelf that does not get enough love? Ready and go.
There's several that could compete for this, so I'm gonna take my time to make sure I choose it correctly.
I'm gonna call out timestamps for you. So that is 10 seconds ellipsed.
Can I name more than one?
N- Uh, you can do a couple honorable mentions, sure, but you are at 20 seconds now.
Okay.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What you got for us?
All right. So the first one is Head Cheese by Jess Hagemann.
Nice.
And that's
Okay.
I actually I didn't pick this because I did the cover, but I did do the cover of that nasty pig.
So
Um,
disgusting and great.
so Jess wrote Head Cheese. This came out in like 2018. It came out from Cinestate, which was like an arm of Fangoria. It then went bust. It's now put out by, I always mess up how to pronounce it, Encyclopocalypse Books.
Yeah.
And this book is about amputation fetishes. It is brutally disgusting and beautifully written. So this is Head Cheese. Jess Hagemann is a absolutely fucking talented writer. And so this book, and by the way, she has a new book, her first book in like 7 years, coming out from Ghoulish in October, and it is called Mother Eating. And that's another amazing one. It's got a killer cover. So Head Cheese is the first one. And
Okay.
then the second is The Grip of It by Jack Jemc.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Tell
This
tell us
one,
about the grip of it.
yeah, so The
I've
Grip
seen
of
this
It,
cover forever.
yeah, this is a haunted house story. Um, I don't get I don't get like physically scared reading a lot of books or need to like put them down for days at a time because I just can't handle it. This is one of those. This one is if you don't like bleak, this is not the book for you. This is bleak. It is unapologetic. It's nasty. And it's about a couple that move into a house and shit starts happening, and there's a weird next door neighbor. That is really underselling the book.
Okay.
If you want a brutal haunted house story that actually will scare you, The Grip of It by Jack Jemc is the way to go. So I see this one occasionally get some love, but I think it's under the radar for a lot of people.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Good picks. Okay. I want to talk about you for a second.
Okay.
So, depending on when this episode drops, we're recording a bunch of things kind of at once here. But I think your most recent or your upcoming book, depending on the date, is going to be Shitshow from Sobolo Books. Can you tell us a little bit about the Shitshow?
Yeah, so Shitshow is the quick pitch is that Shitshow pits a latrine technician, which is the appropriate title, latrine technician versus a dark carnival. But it's about a fella named Sunday McCorder who has to take a job with flexible hours and that has a company vehicle. It just so happens that that is a sanitation company where he is the guy responsible for vacuuming out porta potties. He needed this job because his mother has to live with him now as she is suffering from dementia. And the county fair carnival season rolls around in the fall, and he starts finding body parts in the tanks of the porta potties that he is charged with cleaning. And at the same time, people start disappearing. So that's sort of the introduction to Shit Show. It's fun. It's kind of an 80s, 90s style kind of gonzo horror movie. But at the core, it's about a relationship between a grown adult male and his mother. And and so it's got a lot of heart, but it's also a lot of fun. I like to say that this is the sort of book that if it was a movie, it would have been one of the ones made back in the 80s when the movie executives were snorting their lunches, you know?
I was fortunate enough to see you, hear you, watch you, I don't know, read the prologue at StokerCon. And it is everything that you are chalking it up to be. It is ridiculous and shitty in the best way, and I can't wait for it to hit the shelves.
Thanks so much.
Um,
Thanks so much.
yeah. All right, you ready to grab another book for us?
Go.
Okay. So the second question here is, can you, let me get my timer ready. Ba, ba, ba. Failing as the host. All right. The second question is, can you find us a book on your bookshelf with that scene that you would never want to talk to your family about at Thanksgiving dinner? It's just that scene. Ready, set,
Yeah,
attack. Went straight for one of the hardbacks.
that's
Okay, okay. 15 seconds. I feel good though. You've already got one in your hands.
I'm just making sure.
This game is not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
You
Okay. I'm
guys
good.
keep. All right, and that is 30 seconds. You guys keep turning around and just being like, yeah, I know my bookshelf. There's the one book and there's the other book. I thought this was going to be this like chaotic, like throwing books around premise. Oh well.
No, this is great. This is great. I mean, when you said that one scene that like I'd be trepidatious about talking to my family about or discussing with my family. Um, The first place is a scene from The Dissonance by Shaun Hamill.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
this came out last year, I think. He wrote A Cosmology of Monsters, which I have not read yet, but I know a lot of people really like it. The Dissonance has just a super cool. This is more of a fantasy. There's a little horror to it, but it's more of a fantasy. But okay, there is a magic blowjob in this story, and and the the character receiving it before the blowjob has no soul, but once he receives it from his boyfriend who wants to be with him forever, he gets a soul. So, so there, I've never read another book with a magical blowjob. It's also a great book. Like it's a lot of fun. The magic system is so cool and so inventive. Um, so yeah, this I had to. You said one scene, that would be it.
Yeah. Okay. That works.
Yeah, and then I would just say basically every scene in Edenville by Sam Rebeline after about page 60.
Okay. Okay. I speaking of StokerCon, I got to meet Sam for a couple of seconds at StokerCon and he was wearing this ask me about my meat ship button sticker. I still don't know what the in joke is with that, but
Yeah, well, I can tell you.
yeah,
So,
go for it. Clue me in.
so I draw all of the art for the chapbooks that come out from Rapture Publishing that publishes a chapbook about every month and a half or so. And they published Sam, and Sam's story was called Meat Ship. And so he had the button for a few months. He was wearing the button, ask me about my meat ship. And then I suggested he make me a button that say ask me about Sam's meat ship. And it was pretty funny, but it pretty soon just quickly devolved into just straight dick jokes. And the book is not about dicks. It's a great story. It's a cool like gross space horror story. And if you've ever read any Sam Rebeline, it's very much down the pipe for him. And it's available from Rapture Publishing. I think there are still a few copies available. So that's
Amazing.
what ship is.
Okay. So Sam and his meat chip, and we'll avoid the dick jokes because they've been made. Um, okay, other kind of interlude thing I wanted to talk to you about though. Can we talk about your art a little bit? You said you make metal band logos. What has that process been like? What are some of the bands you've made stuff for? What's some of the work you're super proud of?
Yeah, well, actually, because I'm not in my office. My office has my TBR in it. I'm like upstairs at another bookshelf where I put all the stuff I've read recently. But I also have several albums that I've done art for up here. Can I grab them? That cool?
Yeah, I will cut the video here and uncut in a second.
Okay. So, like, yeah, I do. This is for a band called Witch Ripper. They're out of Seattle. Um,
So cool.
this one is Desolated. They're out of the UK. Um, and I do the interiors as well. Let me see here. This is letters from the colony. They're from I think they're I don't want to get it wrong. They're definitely in Scandinavia.
Okay.
Let's
So
see.
you're international.
This is yeah, pretty much. Hell yeah. That record just fell out.
No.
This is this is Hog Bitch. They're from San Antonio, and actually Sanford Allen is a writer too, and he's one of the main people behind Hog Bitch.
Okay.
And then this one is one of my favorites. This is Sumeru, and they are from Australia. And that one's a wraparound gatefold that goes all the way to the back. So
Nice.
you've got the snake fighting the oh, what are those guys called?
Mongooses.
It's a mongoose. That's right.
Yeah.
And I
I
love
was with you. Snakes are so freaking hard to draw. Nice job.
thanks, man. And then this is Caraxo. I think they're Finnish. And then I'll do one more. Ah, it's one of my favorites. This is Vault Dweller. And
Yes.
they're a grindcore band out of Dallas, actually. I met the barista. I met the lead singer, who is her. She's awesome. Her name is Emma Little, and she's clearly the smallest member of the band. She's also the vocalist, and she's amazing. So Vault Dweller was a lot of fun. But yeah, I got a bunch of those, and yeah, I've been doing that since like 2010, 2011, I think.
Cool. Okay. Follow-up question. Has your art ever inspired a story or your stories ever inspired your art or vice versa? Like anytime you're working on one, you're like, oh, this would be so cool to get on paper.
So I'll give you a uh, an answer that is like not probably not what you're going for, but it's truly how art and writing for me intertwine. It's not necessarily the substance of a piece that I might be working on where I go, oh, this would be a cool story, or I need to do art for this. Very interestingly, even though I do so much art and I do so much writing, they rarely cross over in terms of substance. But I will say that what I've really learned is that the process of writing is exactly like the process of creating visual art. Exactly. They both go through a what the hell do I do phase, first of all. They both go through a sketching phase. You're either your drafting or your note-taking phase for your writing. And then they both go through an ugly phase. And that to me is the biggest part is both with art and with writing is pushing through when you know you're in the ugly phase and it's not all coming together yet and you just have to get to the other side of it so you can go back and revise and fix it, and just having that confidence to go, I know it'll get there, it always gets there, I know it'll get there, and to push through that ugly phase. So for me, art and writing are very similar in terms of process, even though I don't have much crossover in terms of the substance.
Yeah. Ah, that's such a good answer.
Oh, thanks.
Whoa. And you just did that off the cuff. Um,
Thought about that before. It's not that off the cuff.
okay, okay. Sell yourself short. That's fine. All right. One last book related question. So are you ready for our closing question?
Yeah, you bet.
Can you find me a book on your bookshelf that got so much hype before it was released, or even while it was being released, and it lived up to that hype?
Ooh, okay. Let me think. Oh my God.
You're the second person that this has been the harder question for, and I thought this was going to be the layup to end on. We are at 15 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, we've got something off the top. Five, four, three, two, one. All right, we got two. You're cheating on me. You are not abiding by the rules of the game, but I will allow it.
I'm gonna give you the honorable mention first.
Okay, all right. What is our honorable mention for this
Honorable
category?
mention is one that, for the size of the publisher it is, it's getting a lot of hype.
Okay,
Okay. And I think it just came out this week, and that is The Unkillable Frank Lightning by Josh Rountree. Um,
nice.
it's within the context of like small publishers. This is Tachyon. It's really, really getting a lot of respect. It's getting great blurbs from big names. This book absolutely lives up to the hype it's getting in that sort of narrow context. Okay. And I really, really want people to read this book. This is a Western retelling of Frankenstein, but without telegraphing where it's going to go. You'll have no idea. It's so good. I loved this book. So I highly recommend it. It lives up to what I would say is not the hype. It lives up to everything people are saying about it. So
Okay.
like it will live up to what I'm saying about it being so good, so incredible. Josh Rountree is a writer that I admire and look up to as a writer. And when I read his stuff, I'm like, Chris, could you do 5% more like that? Right. So Huge. And then one that tons of hype lived up to it is Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay.
Oh.
Um, this one, and the reason I say that is because, you know, my favorite novel of his is Head Full of Ghosts. I think
Hmm.
that is probably shared by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, when I finished this book, I had to seriously go, is this my new favorite? Um, and I don't know, but to be able to say, well, at worst, it's tied with Head Full of Ghosts means it absolutely lived up to the hype. Um, it has his trademark ambiguity, you know, that he likes to do, but it's not unsatisfying. I think sometimes ambiguity is done and it's deeply unsatisfying. You feel like telling the author, "Hey, like choose a side, bro. Like you wrote it." This one has that ambiguity, but it is really finely tailored. And the book has two or three scenes that are legit scary, super scary scenes. And I hope it gets adapted because there is one scene in a dining room. It's the 5 minute jump scare, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Yes.
5 minute jump scare where he tells you it's coming. And then you talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. And by the way, it's coming and you talk about it. And it does come. And it's the whole thing is just like makes your nerves just fray and explode into dust, right? So anyway, I think this one absolutely lived up to the hype that it got.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pause everything here for just a second and throw like all the spoiler warnings on here. If you have not read horror movie yet, stop. Like go away, please. Come back once you've read it because we're gonna spoil some stuff here. Um, oh my gosh, that scene you're talking about was like movie wise, I've never had an experience like that other than my wife and I were watching Hereditary. Spoilers for Hereditary. Pausing, giving you a second to pause this video and walk away. The scene in Hereditary where the mom is up in the corner in the morning or late night with her son. She's just lingering there. My wife and I had been watching the movie and we paused right there because we could tell the climax was coming up. And we like walked away and we were refreshing our drinks and we were like going to the bathroom and getting ready for like the third act. And we come back and my wife is just in the room screaming because she saw her up in the corner just sitting there while the screen is paused. It was this prolonged jump scare where like even as you're sitting there watching it, it's fucking terrifying. And that scene in the dining room had the exact same effect in book form. And I'm like, that sort of an experience doesn't exist in the literary world. And yet Tremblay pulled it off. So it's like,
Yeah,
how do you do that?
it was
Um,
really that was really a bit of craft that I was so impressed by. And I have a really hard time of separating writer Chris from reader Chris sometimes. And this was one time where both Chris's were very present and it still didn't water it down for me. It didn't ruin it for me that I was sitting there breaking it down thinking about the technique he was using as he's drawing out this very like tense and to be scary scene. It was scary the whole time, honestly.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean it was a masterwork. I'm super super impressed. So that one definitely met and exceeded the hype, I think.
yeah. Okay, so we've gotten through our three questions. Congratulations. You won the game. I don't know what we're winning
Amazing.
here.
This is the first thing I've ever won. It's the first. This is the first book related thing I've ever won, man. This is going on my this is going on like on my books.
This is your Goodreads giveaway that finally clicked.
That's right.
I want a Goodreads giveaway. To wrap things up, can you tell everybody at home, like, again, remind us who you are, and then what are the social links? Where can we find you? What should we be on the lookout for from you?
Sure. So I'm not hard to find. I tell people I'm a bit of an attention whore. I'm an introvert, but I'm an attention whore when it comes to books and this world and being a writer. So I'm at chrispanatier.com. All of my social links are there. I'm at Chris Panatier on Instagram. I'm Scribe of Hades on Blue Sky, and Chris Panatier on TikTok. And I really enjoy chatting about stuff. So if anybody wants to reach out or has questions or anything like that, I'm always happy to chat. Fills my soul to chat books and writing. So that's where you can find me. And I'm currently revising a book that you helped me edit, and really, really helped. And that one comes out. I'm not going to tell you what it is or anything, but it's going to come out at the end of next February. It's not announced yet. It'll be announced probably late September. Shitshow comes out September 2nd from So Below Books. You can pre-order it now. And or buy it if this comes out after that. And then my next trade publication is Worry Box, which comes out from which you also helped me
I
with,
love your lineup so much. Okay.
which is amazing. And that comes out September 2026 from Angry Robot Books. So yeah, that's the next two or three things.
Cheers. Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming on. This was so much fun. To everybody at home, thank you for watching. Hopefully, you will pick up one of the books that Chris mentioned, whether it's one of his books or one of the ones he pulled off the shelf. But we will see you next time. Now, get back to reading.
Thanks, Will.